Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association. Missouri produces wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details on the variety of products made in the state are at choosewood.com.
From St. Louis Public Radio. This is St. Louis on the Air.
I'm Sarah Fensky. This Monday is an increasingly big holiday in St. Louis, 314 Day. But you don't want to wait until Monday to get your St. Louis-centric party started. Jamie Ballantyne-Dolby is the communications person for 314 Day. She said this day is not about where you went to high school, and it's not just one day anymore.
In 2006, it started with an idea for a day, and it really has grown into the St. Louis Homecoming Weekend. It is from Thursday to Monday. And so we always talk about, what high school you went to. 314 Day is not about that. It's really about, have you ever lived in St. Louis? Are you from St. Louis? Do you currently live here? If you have any connections to the city, this weekend is really for you.
And joining us now with details on all the fun taking place this weekend is St. Louis Public Radio's engagement editor and a true 314 Day enthusiast, Lara Hamdan. Lara, welcome.
Hi, thank you, Sarah. I'm excited that my first St. Louis on the Air appearance has to do with one of my favorite days of the year.
That's right. You are the person who told me about 314 Day. I imagine there's some of my fellow transplants or maybe even older St. Louisans. They don't even know what 314 Day is. What is this holiday about?
Yeah, so basically the idea is just to rep anything that has to do with the St. Louis region, really show out for all your favorite sports team, your food, just the communities that you grew up in. A couple years ago on this program, we had on event coordinator Sierra Brown and the hip-hop duo Souls of Liberty to talk about 314 Day. And they said that for years, locals, especially in the Black community, had embraced showing pride for St. Louis through informal gatherings or St. Louis-themed parties and clubs and venues. And this started because traditionally they would host block parties or neighborhood barbecues whenever the last numbers of a zip code or street number corresponded with a particular day on the date. So a day named for St. Louis's main area code was a natural way to take the party citywide.
Okay. And so you grew up celebrating this in North County.
Yeah, I grew up in Florissant. And I just remember at that time, obviously we were much younger, but I'd remember we'd show up in a Cardinals jersey or a Rams jersey, which you won't see that much anymore.
Not anymore.
Or Blues jerseys. We'd have St. Louis style Chinese food. My favorite is shrimp fried rice, but I know, the St. Paul sandwich. You'd wash it all down with a can of Vess, or if it's a soda. Toasted ravioli, of course, Emo's pizza. Even White Castles.
All things St. Louis,
yeah.
Right there. Well, so this, it sounds like kind of just this fun, organic thing. It turns out it was actually founded in 2006. This is by former DJ and current event promoter Young Dip. And so he started this day. He's since started the 314 Day Foundation. He told our producer, Kayla Drake, where he got this idea.
It started, back when I was actually getting introduced to radio. One of my mentors, early on was just like, what is it that you're going to leave behind as far as footprint, legacy, or what do you want the people to remember you for? And at the time, Nelly and the Ticks, they was on fire. The city just had, our teams was doing pretty good. And just that inspiration as far as how we seen the city unite and jump behind them. And it was a different feeling back then. And, it was just how can we recreate that feeling? And I still had that in the back of my head, but I was just it'd be dope if we had our own holiday. So I started looking at the calendar. March 14th was there. I was like, dang, that's the area code, 314. That'd be dope. So I just wrote it down, and I brought it to a couple of my mentors, Tatum Polk and Murph and Keatwine. I'm just like, hey, what y'all think about this? And they instantly was like, yo, you got to go full-fledged with this. This is that.
And so Young Dip started 314 Day basically to celebrate Black culture in St. Louis. The day hasn't lost that voice, but it's also expanded to incorporate all cultures in St. Louis. And Young Dip said he's cool with that.
The city's not just seeing it in one culture. It's every culture that's been doing things but doing it together now. So you're seeing things in different cultures and combining and doing events together, which, it brings more it highlights more of the platform for whoever it is that we're trying to promote or, shine that light on. So that's one of the main things. We just got a ton of events for all types. It doesn't matter like what it is. Like we even have events that that's completely free, but it's on the scale of a concert type of vibe. So we just wanted everybody to be able to enjoy it. A lot of youth events because nonviolence is the thing we pushing. Thursday to Monday, it's a challenge to the city. No violence at all. That's what we're doing. Respect STL.
And Young Dip added there that he wants this day to be about healing because he recognizes that inequality and police violence are something that Black St. Louisans experience every day.
All those things impacted us, Then we took a hit when, rest in peace to Mike Brown. But like when that happened, it really kind of divided the city, So we were still healing from a lot of that. And I think, that plays a big part. But with 314 Day, it's something that we can all stand behind and unite together on.
So that is Young Dip, who formally founded this back in 2006. Lara, you have been celebrating almost ever since, and it sounds like this year's celebration might be the biggest ever. Young Dip mentioned a number of events happening. What are some highlights from your perspective?
Definitely check out stl.com/314day for all the events happening from now until Monday. But Young Dip himself, he's hosting an event, a roller skating party actually, at St. Louis Stadium, and that will be Monday from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. There'll be music, a bunch of skating. Skating's also a very important part of St. Louis's culture. So that's happening. The 314 Day Foundation, STL Made, and Privileged Society are hosting the quote-unquote official celebration on Monday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. There'll be games, trivia prizes, special guests. It's free, which is great. And it's going to be at the Lowe's Hotel, which is in downtown Ballpark Village. Tomorrow, there's going to be a great music event happening. It's called the Free 14, and it's a St. Louis music showcase that's going to be put together by Music at the Intersection and Jammo Presents at the Big Top here in Grand Center. So those are some of the partying that's going to be happening.
Okay, and so what if people aren't into partying, but they still want to celebrate 314 Day?
Totally, yeah. I'm just seeing so many events being put together. Like Green Rivers Greenway has put together 3.14-mile walks and rides on greenways across St. Louis City, the county, and St. Charles County. So that's really cool for somebody that just wants to be in nature. And Sunday, there's also a 314 Day citywide market crawl. So if you want to get your shopping on, visit a bunch of local vendors. It's going to be hosted in 6 locations throughout St. Louis: Union Station, City Foundry, Cherokee Street, South Grand, Webster Groves, and The Loop. Also, there are so many restaurants having specials going on. Mission Taco Joint is bringing back their toasted ravioli taco. Yeah.
Now there's a celebration right there.
Yeah. And last year they said that this taco sold out during lunch service, so they're really encouraging people to get there early. Sweet M's in Clayton is having 314 Days themed sweets, and you'll see that sort of happening across bakeries in the region. Even Schnucks, they're having St. Louis themed cookie cakes and special gooey butter cake slices and deals.
So you can get your sweet on.
Yeah.
So look, Lara, in our final minute here, you are actually launching a project of your own on 314 Day. Can you tell us just a bit about what you're up to at St. Louis Public Radio?
Yeah, so our digital team a while back came up with the idea to sort of put together a welcome guide for St. Louisans moving here to the region, sort of, welcome them. And we know that St. Louis can sometimes have a reputation for being a hard place for transplants to settle in. So later on this year, we're going to put together and launch this big special guide, but we first want everyone's help. On Monday, we are launching our survey and asking people what are some things that would have helped you with your move to St. Louis.
And where do people go to fill that out?
stlpr.org/welcome, and you'll find it on our homepage.
All right. Well, Lara, I want to wish you a happy 314 Day. I know this is big for you. I hope you have a blast.
Thank you. You too.
And Lara is St. Louis Public Radio's engagement editor. For a full calendar of events, go to thestl.com/314 Day. You can also follow 314 Day on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio. This episode was produced by Kayla Drake with audio engineering and podcast design by Aaron Dorr. Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer. St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here. If you learned something new from today's episode, consider leaving us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the easiest way to help people discover our show. We appreciate it. Thank you. St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.